When you think about all the words ever spoken throughout history, none carry the weight, the depth, or the eternal power of these three. They were declared by a dying man on a Roman cross, and they are, without a doubt, the most important words ever uttered. So let's dive in and really understand what they mean. We find this moment in the book of John, chapter 19, verse 30. It's recorded with this kind of breathtaking simplicity. Just one man, one final breath, and one single declaration that would change absolutely everything forever. But what did he actually mean, right? Was this a cry of defeat? The sound of a life ending in failure? Or was it something else entirely? To really get it, we have to look deeper at what was truly accomplished in that single moment. Okay, so to begin, we have to put ourselves right there, at that moment in history. We're at this brutal intersection of Roman imperial power and centuries of Jewish hope and expectation. See, on the one hand, you have the Roman cross. This was their ultimate weapon of shame, an instrument of torture and public humiliation designed to crush any sense of dignity. But on the other hand, for the Jewish people, this moment landed against the backdrop of thousands of years of animal sacrifices, a whole system that was always pointing forward, hinting at one final perfect sacrifice to come. And those two worlds just collided right there at the cross. Now, let's zoom in on the language itself, because this is where it gets really fascinating. In the original Greek language that this was written in, "it is finished" isn't actually three words. It's one. And that one word is Tetelestai. Now, this is not a cry of defeat. It's not someone saying, "I'm done for," or "it's all over." No, this is a shout of victory. It's a declaration that a mission has been perfectly and completely accomplished. The purpose has been achieved. And what's even more incredible is the grammar here. Tetelestai is in what's called the perfect tense. Now, that doesn't just mean something was finished, like a one-time event that's over and done with. It means it has been finished, and the results of that action are permanent. They continue on in their full power right now, today. The effects are ongoing. In the ancient world, Tetelestai had a really common practical use. It was the word that would be stamped or written across a bill of debt once it was completely paid off. It meant the account was settled, the debt was canceled, there was nothing more owed. It meant simply paid in full. Okay, so with that incredible meaning in our minds, let's zoom out again, because this single word isn't just about the end of one man's life. It's actually the climax of a cosmic story that began at the dawn of creation. For thousands of years, a single promise had been weaving its way through all of human history. It began as just a whisper in the Garden of Eden. It was foreshadowed in the blood of the Passover lamb in Egypt. It was painted in stunning detail by the prophets. And every single one of those threads was pointing to this one single moment of fulfillment. Right back in Genesis, chapter 3, verse 15, we get the very first hint of the gospel. It's a promise that someone would come who, though he would be wounded in the process, would deliver a final, crushing blow to the head of the enemy. The cry, "It is finished," is the sound of that ancient promise finally and fully being kept. I mean, listen to this. 700 years before Jesus was even born, the prophet Isaiah wrote this breathtakingly precise prophecy in chapter 53. When Jesus cried out, "It is finished," he was declaring that the work described right here, the work of the suffering servant, was now complete. Isaiah 53 was accomplished. So, all of this is amazing, but what does it actually mean for us, right here, right now? What did this finished work on the cross really accomplish? Well, it achieved so much, but let's just focus on three huge things. First, propitiation. That's a big word, but it just means that God's perfect justice against our sin was completely satisfied. Second, substitution. Jesus literally stood in our place and took the penalty that we deserved. And third, reconciliation. The barrier that sin created between us and God was torn down, making it possible for our relationship with Him to be restored. And here's the beautiful implication of all this for you and me. Because the work is 100% complete, totally and utterly finished, we don't have to work to earn our way to God. We don't have to strive to be good enough. The great work has been done. So the invitation for us is to simply stop trying and to rest in what He has already accomplished on our behalf. This isn't just an idea, it's a personal invitation from Jesus Himself. We see it in Matthew chapter 11.
It's a call to everyone who is tired, who is worn out from trying so hard, to come to him and find true, deep rest for our souls, a rest that can only be found in his finished work. So, you see, the declaration, "it is finished," isn't really the end of the story at all. It's the rock-solid foundation upon which our new story is built. Because his work is finished, our life in him can finally, truly begin. Now, this has just been a brief look at this powerful truth. For a more in-depth study, you can find a link to the fuller discussion in the description.